You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
So I get instructed to do chest compressions until emergency services arrive.
You hear, keep that dopamine button going.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I die. If you guys don't come to my funeral, I'm fine. Whatever. I'm
good, 'cause
fucking dead. I don't give a shit.
Another way she could make it up to him is if she killed her own mom.
Fair's
just to,
fair.
make everything even.
Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 361. I am your host, John Dangeroux, joined by my co-hosts.
Matt, ASMR Hag.
And TJ, the TJ May.
We talked about this a bit before we started, but I want to do the opposite of what ASMR is.
Misophonia. The Misophonia stream.
Let's just make such horrible... You know what? That's just called the Born in the 80s podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called most podcasts.
We're just going to brand ourselves the opposite of ASMR. Whatever that is. It's what makes you writhe in agony instead of tingle with pleasure.
Yeah.
Speaking of writhe and agony...
Okay.
Oh, God.
Let's go ahead and get this out of the way so
All
I
right.
can get this off my chest and we don't end on a downer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Let me talk about Monday.
We're going to open on a downer.
Is this tomorrow, Monday?
Last week.
Last week,
6
Monday.
days ago. The 8th of July.
Okay.
So I get into work a bit early, just kind of minded my own business.
Oh, yeah. I remember you talking. Now I remember
Yeah.
this story. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We'll have all the details here in all their morbid, disgusting detail.
Awesome.
So I get to work early. It's around 7 in the morning. The way it works is since we keep the doors locked, I work at a thrift shop. We keep the doors locked until we open. The last employee that comes in waits up front until the next person comes in, until about everyone's in the store. So around 7:20, the employee who's actually waiting for the next person to come in is looking out and is like, "Yeah, this employee out there doesn't look right." I'm like, "What's going on?" Yeah, she's leaning on the garbage can out there, and she's not really moving.
Stop. This is one of your employees?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she comes, gets me, and be like, "Go out there and check on her because she doesn't look right." I currently kind of have like all the money from the store, like just sitting out, all the cash registers, but this is someone's health and whatnot. So I'm like, fine, I'm going to go do it. We got cameras there anyway. So if anyone tries to touch it, whatever. So I go out the door and she's about maybe 10, 15 yards away. So I start walking towards her. And by the time I get about 5 yards away, she no longer keeps her balance. She completely collapses off the garbage can, bringing the garbage can top off, and she falls to the ground.
Oh, this is terrifying.
Absolutely. She's someone that looks like she was in her mid-70s. I found out way after the fact that she was only 60 years old.
Oh, wow.
So she collapses to the ground. Her eyes are open, and she's kind of like making sounds as if to respond, but she's not really responding. She's only kind of reacting. Mm-hmm. I'm about to ask her, should I call 911? And I'm just like, forget it. I'm calling. I call 911, and
of course, always like as soon as you can.
Yeah. So I call 911. She's on the ground at the moment. I didn't move her from where she landed in case she broke anything or whatnot. I didn't want to move anything.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to the operator because I'm calling from a cell phone. She's like, what's your address? I'm like, I'm this place right outside the thrift store. And they start, asking me, how old is she? How old is she? Do you know if she has a history of this? And then they have me see if there's any discoloration, which I'm not really seeing her losing color, but kind of after the fact, I didn't let them know, but her neck was starting to turn very dark, as well as her ears. So she has me completely lay her flat on the ground, so that I just finished laying her out. And then she had me lift up her neck and then listen for breathing. At that point, she's like, tell me now every time she's breathing. And her breathing has become so shallow and so labored. It was like, and it wasn't, it definitely was not consistent, not good.
Mm-hmm.
So I get instructed to do chest compressions until emergency services arrive. So like, make sure you press down, make sure the chest comes completely up. When I do that, she starts making some groaning sounds, which I'm kind of nervous I'm hurting her.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's pretty much a given that when you do chest compressions, you're going to break a rib or fracture it at least.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to do what you
rather have
do.
a broken rib than be dead.
Exactly.
Because those heal.
But I feel bad that I'm not quite pushing down at the rate that the operator is telling me. But after about a minute, emergency services takes over and ends up.
Oh wow. Pretty good response. There. Sounds like.
Well, it ends up being about 3.5 minutes from when I made the phone call. But
fuck. Yeah, that's good. Good. I mean, it's lucky that you were right. Probably somewhere really easy to recognize, I guess. But
and it was
I'm not saying that this went well, but I mean, like, that's how it was so quick. Like,
it's impressive that they can get there that fast.
Yeah.
Exactly. So at that point, after they take over, they let me hang up. I just kind of step back. Everyone's like, you handle yourself well out there. I'm like, I don't know if I did
what I was told. Like,
exactly. And being that this was still pre-open, we haven't opened up the store yet, and it's Monday, and every week we do a 50% off Monday sale.
All right.
So there's like a crowd.
Well, not yet. Not yet, because we're still an hour and a half before open.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, at this point, the staff that was there is still kind of like in shock and kind of not sure what's going on. The emergency services has gotten her into the ambulance, but they haven't left yet. Still, I don't think they end up leaving for another like 15 or 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, even though the store manager's there and whatnot, I'm like, I got to finish the stuff to open the store.
Yeah.
Because the people coming here aren't going to care that anything happened. They're just going to
they're
want to get their stuff. Yeah, basically. So I get through that. We get updates through the day. Turns out she had a massive heart attack. That her nearest kin, because she's not married, her nearest kin is her son, who's currently out of the country in Belize on a honeymoon.
Oh, wow.
But he is also a police officer for a nearby police force as well. So that ends up happening. He ends up getting the phone call and ends up coming back, makes it that evening. So we were told at least for that day, just, if anyone asks, she's just not here today. And then next morning, she ends up dying.
Oh, wow.
So, but, as I watched her, as I watched the shallow breaths, the dark spots on her skin and ears, watching the shallow breaths come through her lips, I still see this stuff happening as if it's happening right now. And people will still come up to me, I'm sorry for what you went through. I'm like, I knew her as a coworker. I really didn't know her too much beyond that. And I just did what I had to do, the same thing I would do to anyone, do for anyone else. And one or two people have dropped the word hero, and I don't like it. It's not me. I'm just a normal person who did what I had to do at the time I had to do it. That was my week.
It sounds. I mean, like, I can't even imagine intense. Just the like aftershocks of after that happens. Just like, it fucked me up for a while. It is like caregiver PTSD is a thing
for sure.
And then I get the other end of it, which is almost everyone. My boss's boss, HR. Regional HR person has been asking me, so are you okay with this? Are you handling this all right? I'm like, Yeah, for the most part. And I kind of wish, like, give me the tools I need if I need to call in and, do whatever, whether it's through the employee assistance program or counseling or whatnot. But let me process it for a while.
Yeah. But they do offer, like, an employee counseling.
They do.
Okay. Yeah. Because, like, I would definitely take the advantage of that when you're ready to talk about it to someone like that.
And the sucky part is they actually had a live grief counselor on that Tuesday in the morning, the day after this happened. When I came in the afternoon, they were already gone. Because that was already what I was scheduled.
Surely all of the grief has been taken care of now.
I mean, I'm not the only person who was there.
Yeah.
There were other people that were, helping me out, listening for breath and whatnot. But, I got to watch the light go out of someone's eyes. I know she didn't die then, but, I saw her with eyes that definitely were, like, grasping for things, and then eyes that did nothing. Which is a weird thought. And the other weird thought is I may be the last visual input she had.
Yeah.
Which is really weird to think about.
That's wild.
But yeah.
Also just not to freak you out more, but like waking up that day and being like not knowing that that's your last day alive, like having no idea.
And considering no one else was at her house, it's kind of fortunate this happened where it did. Not while she was on the road driving to work, not while she was at home with nobody there for probably about a week.
Not like
I don't
in
think
the
she would have been discovered.
Slowly turning to goo.
Exactly.
Oh, God. When people die in the bathtub and don't get found for like a week or two, that's the worst. Because you just start dissolving.
Yep. Oh, but it was to the point where I don't think I wanted to see anyone close to her. Today they had a memorial service just at like some restaurant for like 5 hours. I'm like, it's not something I really wanted to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cynic side inside me is kind of putting out the, I really don't even want myself to be associated with this because I don't know how strong the Good Samaritan laws are in Illinois. And from what I'm looking at, it only really applies to people with any sort of medical background or people who have any sort of like CPR certification and whatnot.
Well, I think as long as you're following the directions that 911 is telling you on the phone, you're good.
But I'm not ready to face her family.
Yeah.
At least not as the person who performed chest compressions before emergency services took over. I mean, it wasn't. She was already at a point where it wasn't looking good. She had to be. They had to take the shock cart to her 3 times before taking her to the hospital. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably what that, 20 minutes was, just trying to get a stable heartbeat.
Exactly. She was probably fibrillating, so she had to be defibrillated.
Unfibrillized,
exactly.
Well, is that, counseling thing that they offered, is that something you could do over the phone, or do you have to do it in person?
Yeah.
Okay, that's because I would much rather do something like that over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So... Hey, guys.
Also, John disappeared, so I don't know what happened there.
Oh, no.
Welcome to
I thought he was unusually quiet.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll throw him another invite. Maybe he tried to fix his light, and he got electrocuted. Oops.
I hope not.
I'm showing the link on screen. Oh, well, nobody's watching.
I could see it on the thing, but... For some reason, sometimes my it's not the whole link though; it's cut off.
Oh, that's good.
But sometimes when I've been doing the podcast lately, I can't. I lose visual of you guys.
Oh, really?
It's just way my
It's just like
LTE,
some kind of
is going.
Yeah, some kind of bandwidth cap or something.
I might be over for the month anyway, so if, whatever, at least my audio's coming through. And when I look at the podcast, I still show up, so
yeah,
my video upload's still there.
All right, so what do we... I guess we can keep going while we wait for John to figure out whatever's going on. Oh, he's back. Hey, John.
Yeah, my fucking internet decided to drop for no reason.
I was worried that you died.
It's good I paid so much for this that it fucking works correctly. I had to turn off the modem and the router. I just turned the router, didn't do anything. So I don't know.
No.
Oh, lovely. That was still pretty quick compared to how fast my power cycles work.
Anyway,
it's not fast.
So yeah, I just had to nope out of that conversation, I guess.
Yeah, you were too overwhelmed. You couldn't handle it, so
my
you
internet
just pulled
was
the
just
plug.
like, nah. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up, I guess. I don't think I've ever experienced that.
I mean, most of what you miss is just like how everyone and their mothers are like, are you okay? I'm like, just trying to process this. Can you not talk to me about it right now?
Yeah,
which I get.
Let me chill.
But I do have services through the through my store, so I'm able to go through that.
I mean, you're just having all sorts of fun, traumatic work experiences.
Yeah.
This is like the, year anniversary of your robbery?
Yeah. Which one's
January.
worse?
Oh.
Yeah, rank your tragedies.
Rank your trauma.
Yeah, rank your trauma. I guess the robbery wasn't a tragedy because just the store lost cash.
Actually, that was 2017 though, wasn't it? Because that was a Switch. That was a Switch announcement day.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't it?
I don't remember. It does seem like it was.
That guy wanted to switch, but he was just too early.
No, because they hadn't even talked about anything until our podcast started.
Speaking about Switch announcements.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
TJ, why don't you let everyone in on this Nintendo Network?
Yeah. So Nintendo has a new Game Boy that's a lot bigger. It doesn't play Game Boy games. It plays Switch games.
Yeah, it plays NES games.
Yeah.
Oh, if you got the service.
Yeah.
But the Nintendo Switch Lite, which is $200 for a solid system, no removable Joy-Cons, no kickstand, no dock, no HDMI. It's only meant to be played handheld and portable. It's about two-thirds the size.
What's the price? I'm sorry.
$199. $200.
$200? Okay.
And what's the regular one's like $300?
$300.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it have does it have a good screen? Like is it better screen or the same?
It's still the same screen, but it's just smaller.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would
would you say the ratio, because both of you have have Switches, what's the ratio of how much you play it handheld versus docked?
Whew. I would say it's probably handheld more for me.
I'm about 60-40 handheld more, but I know a lot of people who love it docked.
Yeah, I mean, docked it works just as a console. Like the last I played it docked because I got my wife Mario Party Super Mario Party for the.
Oh, we just
Switch.
borrowed that from the library.
Yeah, and so we were playing it docked. Super Mario Party. It's actually, as someone who doesn't love Mario Party, I think it's okay. My wife is a big fan. It's pretty good. I think that they've made a lot of quality of life improvements to speed up the game. There isn't. I think it's better than the previous one, Mario Party 10. It was right where you're all in the same fucking cart.
Yeah, they did that for Mario Party 9 too. So it's 2 games in a row.
Yeah, where it's just terrible because that ruins the game. It's like, hey, let's play a board game where nobody has any pieces you move anywhere. So it's not really a board game at this point anymore. Whereas this mode is this game is much more simplified boards. There's still action spaces, there's still that, but the star locations aren't super randomized, and they're most of the maps have one big circle going around with a couple mini circles that you go around rather than some of the crazy branching paths some of the old maps had.
This is more Mario Party 2-esque.
Yeah.
But even a little bit simpler.
Yeah.
The only problem is, a 10-turn game still takes an hour. Whereas with the Mario Party 9 and 10 style, just to be the devil's advocate, those games are about 35 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the only nice thing about being in the same cart, is there's a start and an end to the level.
Yeah.
But now, if I'm going to hate my friends, I'm going to hate my friends on a board of my own design.
Yeah. I like, I thought it was fine. I mean, like an hour is fine for a game. A couple things. One thing that I really dislike about it is the fact that you can only use handheld Joy-Cons. So I don't think you would be able to play this game on the Switch Mini then.
No. Actually you can, but there's no kickstand, and you have to use separate Joy-Cons, just like they talked about with 1-2 Switch.
Oh, no, on the Mini Switch?
Yeah, you can still connect sync other Joy-Cons. Yeah.
Got it. That's dumb.
Yeah.
You would never do that. I mean, like, this is built much more for, like, hey, here's all these download indie games that are really good. Hey, you can play, all these other games on the go.
Because it's got a legit D-pad, too.
Yeah.
But, slightly improved battery life. For something that's going to be primarily a handheld, I would have expected double battery life, and it's not even close.
I guess. I don't think the battery life on the Switch is that bad. It's not, like, PSP original version bad, or Game Gear bad.
35 minutes.
Oh my god, Game Gear was such a nightmare.
It's just this big fucking battery tumor to stick on the back of it to get a full hour.
But like the what was it? The Game Gear took 6 AA's, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
3 on each side and their own separate battery compartments, and it burned through those AA's. Or those AA's. Like, in like 35, 40 minutes. Like, it just was a bad... And so, like, most of the time I played that, it would be plugged in. Because you're like, I'm not going to use up all of these batteries.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the Game Boy was, like... I remember the Game Boy battery life being great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel
there was no backlight, which was a huge
that's
difference.
true on the original. Like, unless you did what I did and had one of the little dongles that plugged into this like side port with like a little flashlight.
Yeah. So I have one of those. I actually have it down in my car for my Game Boy Pocket. It's like a big flip out thing that's like a magnifying lens with lights in it. I think I used that like once or twice while camping, but the magnifying lens looks horrible.
Oh yeah. So this year also is like a special year too, because I completely forgot. We didn't even talk about this, but the April 21st was the 30th year anniversary of the original Game Boy release. So it was 1989 that originally came out, but it's saying one reason why it was so good is fucking Tetris, man. Oh man, portable Tetris was so good. But the battery life was fucking great. Like it was like good 15 to 20 hours of play before you had to replace the AA's. Like, and it was cheap as fuck. Like, the Game Boy launched at $90, and I think it came with Tetris.
Yeah.
So, like, what a fucking steal that is. Like, the Game Gear was $150 when it came out. It was like almost half the price of the Game Gear, and it also had the better games. So
it was just those two and literally nothing else that can play games portably, other than like those little Tiger Electronics.
Well,
things.
There's a lot of
love
others.
The Tiger Electronics.
Matt, you're forgetting about the Atari Lynx.
What the fuck is that?
That was a bit later, though, wasn't it?
Well, maybe not in that time period. No, the Atari Lynx was September 1st, 1989.
Oh, so it was the same year.
Yeah, just a little bit later. I wanted an Atari Lynx super bad. I remember going to like a county fair where a guy was like, they had a game store had like a thing, and they had like stuff, and I got to try the Atari Lynx, and I was like, holy shit, because it's like color, and the graphics were actually really good. Like, it was actually, if I remember correctly, it was like closer to Super Nintendo graphics.
It does look like that from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, 16-bit. Yeah, so it was like it was better than the Game Gear for sure. But the thing is that just nobody had a lot of games out for it. Like it was. Yep, go ahead.
I kind of wish things like the Wonder Swan and the Wonder Swan Color got more popular here. Or were those Japan only?
Yes. I think they were Japan only. So the Wonder Swan was... Who did that? What company was that?
That wasn't TurboGrafx, was it?
No, it was Bandai made it.
Okay.
But it was it Japanese only? But yeah, they were pretty neat. Wonder Swan Color. Let me look at the Wonder Swan
Yeah, I would
Color.
guess because all the introductory price information is in yen.
Yeah, it was just in
Japan only release dates.
But then there was also the what's it called? The NEC Turbo Express, which was like the TurboGrafx handheld. Which again, I was into video games and I did not know what a TurboGrafx was until like maybe 10 years ago. So clearly that did not have a great mind share. But Matt, TJ, 1989, December 1st, 1989, this was released. So I think 1989 was like the year for every handheld. When was the Game Gear? Was it 91?
Yeah.
91 was the Game Gear.
I wonder if that was just like a tipping point where like LCD displays had like reached a certain point of efficiency.
Yeah. Like a certain point of like price availability.
Yeah, and like it wouldn't completely drain your batteries in 15 minutes unless you're a Game Gear.
I love that Nintendo's first response to the Game Gear was the Color Game Boy. Not the Game Boy Color. The same brick Game Boys in new colors instead of gray. So you have a red Game Boy or a blue Game Boy or a green Game Boy.
Hey, they've stuck with that business model up to and including the Switch. It's just like, hey, let's release some new colors of Joy-Cons. Yep.
But the Atari Lynx, I remember, was pretty cool.
New colors of Joy-Cons. I'll go down a tiny hole here. So, do you guys know how many Joy-Cons I have?
Like 20.
You have like 20.
No, I have 10 total Joy-Cons, 5 pairs currently.
All right.
I got my system with the gray Joy-Cons. I bought the pair of blue. I bought a pair of blue with the system. I bought a pair of yellow day one when that came out later. Then my kids got... Well, I got the free Switch for working at GameStop with the red-blue, and I bought the blue-red. So I have 2 pairs of blue, a pair of red, a pair of gray, and a pair of yellow. So I've been kind of wanting to get green Joy-Cons. Sadly, in the U.S., they only come as you could get a retail set that is a pink left and a green right.
Yeah.
But there was also the Splatoon bundle system that was a green left and a pink right.
Yeah.
Or you can import the Japan retail bundle of green left, pink right. And I don't feel like doing that. So I've kind of been...
so you gave up.
I've been stalking the GameStop pre-owned for green left Joy-Con.
Yeah, you're just trying to find somebody who turned one in.
And there's like a store in Rockford that had one a couple weeks back, and I just kept checking enough where Friday morning, which was payday, I got an email from GameStop saying, "Hey, something you were looking for is in stock. The left green Joy-Con was available on the website, which meant shipped to home."
Yeah,
I bought a pre-owned left green Joy-Con and a pre-owned right green Joy-Con and had them shipped. I did that in 5 minutes before we opened our store on Friday. Paid for it with future TJ's money, sadly, and I will be getting them both, one tomorrow and one on Tuesday. So I will now have 12 Joy-Cons.
You'll just complete a full rainbow eventually.
Yeah. Pride Week's over.
Hey, there's going to be another one next year.
Or Pride Month. Sorry, not Pride Week. We get a whole month.
Oh, I want those greens. I want them so bad.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
it's
then you can set it up so you have one Mario Switch and one Luigi Switch. You can have the reds on one and the greens on another.
Here's the problem. There do exist a separate, darker Mario Odyssey red set of Joy-Cons.
Ah, there you go.
And I don't have the pinks yet.
Kid, they're playing. You're playing right into their trap, TJ.
I'm not getting them. At least not at this moment. But either way, because I still have the GameStop, we don't have this anymore, but your grandfathered in if you had it, 20% discount on pre-owned. I basically got these for $30 a Joy-Con, so I got the pair for $60.
That's not bad. I did a quick search, and the pair, what I saw was $120 for a full pair on eBay. So you got a good deal.
Wait, $120?
That's what I didn't click through to see if there's any bids or anything, but that's what.
Was that pair of greens?
Yeah, both left and right green.
Okay, gotcha. Because they don't come together; they come separate.
Yeah,
you have to get them in separate sets.
My favorite
you always
Joy-Cons,
want to try and come together as much as you can.
My favorite Joy-Cons, and I think these are like a custom thing I saw, was the translucent purple from like the N64 controller.
Oh yeah,
I would love to get that done.
Yeah. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, so there's definitely like a whole like custom Joy-Con like community of like, hey, we can make colors.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be better for you, TJ.
I assume you can just buy like the shell and then just install the guts yourself.
Yep, I believe that's what they do. I think
I've got the tools. I just don't have the shells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they make. Oh God, there's some awesome like NES looking ones and some Super Nintendo looking ones.
Ooh, there's a translucent green replacement shell for
I want
$11 on eBay.
Joy-Con shell.
How do
I
buy these? Like, tell me how to buy them. Like,
you can find them on Etsy.
No, I'm on a website called Colorware.
I found the purple.
And they have
translucent
Nintendo
purple.
Joy-Con skins. Create yours. Okay. All right, give me that skin. Let me create that skin. Ooh, matte. You do matte. Let's do matte reds. Ooh, $5. That's it for the shell. TJ,
I'll install it.
See if they color match that green. I don't see it as one of the colors. Ooh, they have some exotics.
I like the ones that look like NES controllers too.
Well,
I want the one
there
that
are
looks
legit
like NES
NES
controllers.
controller things too. I mean, not color scheme, but I'm talking about you put NES controllers as things. We talked about that during the.
They sell some premium ass shit.
Can I get a console wrap that looks like a toaster?
So they have some NES looking Joy-Cons. The set of NES Joy-Cons is $200. So and then they have like a Switch, the Super Nintendo Switch, that's like colored with a dock that's also made to look like the Super Nintendo is $600. Like, fucking Christ, get the fuck out of here.
Gotcha. If you ever want me to do a shell replacement, just buy a shell, get them sent to me, and I'll swap some for you.
Why, I'm shell shocked. I'm sorry.
I don't mind.
Oh no, those were the skins that cost that much. I don't want that. I don't want skins because I'm sure that's just an applique.
Yeah, I don't want appliques.
No,
because it ruins the paint on the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, no. You can get this is $150 for your own custom pair of painted. Oh, they definitely do have a green that matches that, TJ. Mm-hmm. You can do it, but it's $150 for a pair. So sorry.
No, because I'm looking. It's from China, but there's a listing for a replace clear case translucent housing for Nintendo Switch Joy-Con controller. It's just a translucent green. You just take your old Joy-Cons, take off the shell, and put this new shell on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
And some of them come with like different
$10.
buttons that you can swap out too.
Let's stop talking about shelling Joy-Cons.
Okay. Let's stop talking about this old retro shit that nobody cares about, making your Switch look like an NES or like old Game Boys and stuff. Nobody cares about that old shit. So I've been playing World of Warcraft Classic for like every day.
Wait, the beta's over. It ended on the 12th, man.
Yeah. So I've been playing World of Warcraft Pirate
Classic.
Version Edition, Pirate Bay Edition, Booty Bay. I went to Booty Bay and I torrented it.
I mean, everything's legal in Booty Bay. That's the law.
Yeah. But if you're gonna attack somebody, you have to be prepared for the guards to fuck your shit up because they won't handle it. They're trying to protect commerce. All right. Yeah. This is my life now. I just play World of Warcraft like every day. I woke up this morning and my first thought was, I want to go play World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
That game...
it's good. The original's good.
It's wild how much that game just made you sit and wait for stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I had a 2-minute res timer earlier today because I kept getting ganked. And it was just like, well, okay, I guess I'm sitting here.
Where were you ganked? Were you in Stranglethorn, Vietnam?
No. I've pretty much gone through that all already. I was going through the hinterlands for a quest. But I'm like level 39, and the lowest mobs were all like 41 to 43. And then there was also Alliance there. So it was a very dangerous time for me.
Yeah.
But I got that 2-minute res time, and I was just like, well, I guess I'm sitting here for 2 minutes.
Yeah, you know what the craziest part about that shit was back in the day? Is that nobody had cell phones that you could play like fucking games on. And nobody really had computers where it was super easy to alt-tab and do something else because not a lot of people had dual monitor setups back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of was like, I'm going to sit here. One thing that did exist and I had was, I believe PopCap made an official add-on that was a Peggle game that you could play in World of Warcraft while you waited on flights. I did that a lot. Oh, that's
cool.
So I remember that.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, the longer flights, I'll just click the button and then I'll go, like, fuck off to the kitchen for 20 minutes until I get there. That would never fly, like, in a modern game. They're just like, no, we need to keep you here, keep that dopamine button going.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
they talk. I mean,
the minute you let them do something else, they're distracted and they're not going to come back to the game. But you know what? I came back.
There is a large community of people on the again the reddit.com/r/classic-wow that talk about this, but they're saying that their idea is that Blizzard's not going to support classic, and this is probably just still some original like worrying about it because the game does not support monetization in the way that retail does. Like, retail's got all sorts of pets that you can buy and like all these things, and if they couldn't really add that into classic, because it would change classic, I think. So the classic is really just like an extra for people that are paying for a regular subscription, which is the way to do it, because they can't just have a separate classic WoW subscription.
I mean, but then like it would be a matter of if they suddenly get an influx of new subscribers, and I'm assuming they can tell like what version you're playing, and they're like, oh shit, we got like a couple 100,000 new people, and they're all just playing classic. So maybe we should work to keep them around.
$15 a month, if they get 1 million new players because of this, that's $15 million a month they're making that they weren't making before. I mean, and then I think a lot of the people at Blizzard like this project because, I think people like to play. It's a different game, Retail and classic are different.
And like I saw when they, I saw a video of them like ending the public beta, and they just spawned they spawned Ragnaros and like Orgrimmar, and like the GMs were walking around as these giant models, just like one-shotting people. And it seems like they're having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I've been in one of those. Back when I used to play a lot, I always just like put in my like requests to be in the public test realms for upcoming like patches and expansions and stuff. And I think I was in the Lich King beta. I didn't get in the Burning Crusade beta, but I was in the Lich King beta. And they like just fucked around, and spawned a bunch of bosses in. It was really fun. Like, it's just like, this is cool. Like, so I like that a lot. I think that they're having a lot of fun with it. I think it's a kind of a cool technology thing. There's clearly a market for it because these private servers have tons of people playing in them.
Yeah.
And I feel like I said before, like we could pay nothing and play private servers.
Yeah, but I would never do that.
I want to pay Blizzard for it if they can make a better experience, because the classic servers, the private servers are, like we've said many times, just kind of guesstimates of what they think it is, because they had to rewrite AI and all this stuff because that was all server side, not in the client that they had to go. So they kind of had to. I mean, it's actually the tech behind building those private servers is just insane.
Yeah, just like the amount of work that went into it.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
I mean, they basically had to program the game to work for the client that you could, download on your PC. So,
but then at the same time, like the actual WoW Classic is going to support higher resolutions, and it's just going to look better. And it looks like because of that higher resolution, you can zoom way out from your character to a point where it's like almost a strategy game. Like it's just this tiny little dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really excited for this to come out.
I'm not excited for another $15 a month bill, but
I know.
I will support the creation.
At least it's like I don't know. It's tough though with WoW Classic, because like when you were paying $15 a month back in the day, it was like, oh yeah, they're putting out new content patches.
Yeah, you're supporting this whole dev team that's going to come up with expansions and stuff.
I mean, they've been talking about that if it's popular, that they will think about how they will move it forward. I think honestly, Burning Crusade makes a lot of sense. Just to make WoW Classic and then WoW Classic BC Burning Crusade.
Yeah.
Like Burning Crusade Classic, and then just have you can leave your character at 60 on this one, and if you want to keep, playing the end game cap stuff on that.
Yeah. It wowould be nice if it was just like a matter of selecting what version you want to log into.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. And then they would you could have it, because that's how some of the private servers do it with the Burning Crusade, is that they have your character data and they can transport it onto the new server. So, you could level up to 60 in a WoW Classic and then be like, okay, I want to play Burning Crusade. All right, transfer my character over, which they could charge for, or you could create a new one, on the Burning Crusade server. I'm sure they could charge you $15 to transfer. I mean, that's a good way to monetize. I think that's good, fair. It's like you can go create, because they boosted leveling in Burning Crusade. I think experience gains are about 20% faster or something like that in Burning Crusade in the legacy content. So, it's a little bit easier to catch up, but. Well, cool. I'm glad you're still enjoying that. What class are you playing again?
I am a warlock.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
I am one level away from starting my mount quest.
Oh, wow, you're 39?
Yes, I am.
That's exciting.
And it's definitely kept with the pattern of each week I accomplish about half as much as the week before, where it took me 1 week to get from 0 to 20, 1 week to get from 20 to 30, and then a week to get from 30 to 35, and then keep going like that.
Oh my God. The cat just got murdered in Matt's apartment.
Yeah, they do that.
It was so loud. Let's see.
So it'll be interesting to see if I stick with it long enough to get 60 before actual Classic comes out.
Yeah. So I've been playing a lot of retail WoW. I can talk about that a little bit, which is Battle for Azeroth. I've now have been played enough of both, where they're just completely two different games. And I think someone described this as the best as BFA and retail WoW is okay. Here's the grind to get to the end and play the story, which is good. I mean, they're storytelling, phase, zoning, zone, what is it called? Where the zones change based on the storyline progression. You can have you're in a zone and then it gets attacked and the town's on fire and then you fight the guys and it's not on fire anymore, but it's destroyed. And so it's phasing, I think is what they call it. That's pretty cool. There's some really cool stuff with that. But in World of Warcraft, it was all about your character. and you playing that character. And now it's like it doesn't really matter what your character is. You're just like an avatar to get through the content, to get to the end, you know. It doesn't really matter what class you are. There's no huge differences between classes, what buttons you play, you know, and like the story. You know what I mean? So I feel like in original WoW, it's much more of a I care about getting all of the stuff on this character, whereas in like BFA, it's just it's just more about like the player and not about what characters you have to level. It's more about like just being a person to take up a spot in a group, like in your role. Whereas like back in the day, it was like you had this whole character, this epic backstory of how difficult it was to level up to a thing. Like my character I'm playing in BFA now is like, oh yeah, he started at 110 because I had the free level boost. So he just started at the expansion. So I have like no fucking like ties to the history of this.
Yeah.
Whereas like
you're
Matt,
just
you
a
probably
cog
remember
in
that
the forever war.
Yeah, like Matt, you probably remember that fucking Scarlet Crusader that fucking chain pulled 3 of them and you fucking died.
Fuck that guy.
That was like exactly. Whereas like now
like,
it's just like
from
everything's like a loot.
Vanilla WoW. I
pinata.
remember just like grinding through Scarlet Monastery on my Shadow Priest forever to just try and get a damn hat. Like,
The chapeau.
Yeah, I just wanted that damn hat.
White mane chapeau, man, it's a great hat.
It's a cool hat.
It's a really good hat to keep. It's like best in slot for quite a while. So TJ talked about
But
death.
I should check that out. Like
Matt talked about WoW.
I should check out Scarlet Monastery. I don't think I'm
Wait,
too high
are those even two different things?
Yeah, death and WoW, they're both inevitable.
Yes.
So yeah,
the afterlife for us is going to be like San Junipero, but we're just inside classic WoW.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
So great.
Playing Naxxramas. It's kind of crazy. It's like I'm thinking about how excited I am to play, but like, dude, I'm never gonna have time to raid.
Yeah.
Actually, I will though. Honestly, as long as I'm not like in a show, like I feel like I have more time than I did when I was in college.
I never had time to raid in vanilla either. Like, I'm more interested in leveling up and doing like Arathi Basin or something. Yeah, I think PvP would be a fun thing to do. But I think raiding isn't actually that impossible because private servers, I think raiding is pretty easy now. I think it's because people know the content really well. Mm-hmm. Like back in the day, everyone was still learning, you know? Yeah, so trial by 1,000 deaths.
Yeah, so I think now it'll be a lot faster, I think. So I think the community will be a lot more committed if you want to get into it. But I'm looking forward to like attunement and stuff, like doing the big quest chains at the end, running some Upper Blackrock Spire, you know, the 10-man. I'm excited. I'm excited to play. But like the calculation to get to 60 is like if you play like 2 hours a night, it's like 3 months. So
that's wild.
It's a long grind to get to the end game. But that was
even like in my memory, that was so long. It took like years, and it might have taken like over a year. But like, I just replaying these areas. I'm like, I remember the areas with such clarity that I figure I must have spent months in them. But it's just like, no, I'm here for like half a week, and then I'm leveled out of that zone. Mm-hmm. It's so wild. My brain is broken.
But it's good. I mean, it gives you you have such a feeling of accomplishment when you get those levels, which just doesn't exist in BFA in retail. It's just like the levels are just like something to get through to get to the end.
Yeah. And then you're like even after you get 60, you're like you can grind rep with different factions, just like there's a never ending thing.
It wasn't even that big of a thing back in original.
No,
WoW,
it's just like if you want something to motivate you to keep grinding.
Yeah, you can in Burning Crusade added daily quests, and grinding in that respect. Lich King added a lot of faction grinds. So it's kind of like he's yelling at his children. You can't hear us. So the original WoW's like grinds were just kind of like, oh, I'm grinding this dungeon to get the next item I want, or oh, I'm going out to kill these mobs so I can get these materials to make potions, or oh, I'm grinding games of Warsong Gulch and Arathi Basin, and I'm all for playing some PvP, Matt, because I loved playing PvP. And just I think getting a PvP group together is a lot of fun.
I loved Warsong Gulch, just that capture the flag shit.
Yeah. I mean, so many awesome memories. I still have memories of great games of that capture the flag.
That's part of why it took me so long to get 60 originally. I just got to 30 and played Warsong Gulch every night.
Well, you got to 29, you mean?
Yeah, whatever.
Because you never wanted to play Warsong Gulch when you were... Because the way that just for people that don't know, the way that the Battlegrounds work is they were in level brackets. Yeah. So there was a 11 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 30 or 39. So you didn't really want to play unless you were 39, but you still would because you just wanted to play Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
So
and did you got some experience from winning?
No.
Right? No.
Nope.
So you couldn't accidentally level out of it.
No, not if you only play Battlegrounds. But people would do that because you could. You just had to be careful because exploring areas gives you experience.
Yeah.
So if you had a twink at 19, you're I can't really, gotta be careful, and you want to do certain quests to get certain quest rewards, there's guides for leveling a twink. And twink is a term that is a different
small
meaning
hairless
nowadays.
Gay man.
But back in World of Warcraft days, a twink was a level 19 character who had all the best in slot, BOE, green items, maybe a blue dagger, all the best items you could get at level 19. And so you would go into Battlegrounds and absolutely wreck people until it became a thing. I had a twink for a while and loved it playing Battlegrounds, but then I think that it caught on. And then you just end up playing a bunch of other level 19s that are pretty leveled. But the interesting thing about that, God, I said I was going to talk about Classic WoW the whole podcast. This is the one final anecdote about this, because I want to talk about the other game I played. Classic WoW, 1 to 19, all the classes have a different balance than at 60. Because you have certain abilities that classes don't have yet at level 19. And then at level 29, there's different items and different classes and have different abilities and stuff that the talent trees don't allow for certain moves. So it changes the strategy of combat, those different tiers. In current retail WoW, you can turn experience off on a character, so you can just park a character at a certain level. But back then, it was just kind of manually. I hope they maybe add that in. I feel there's just certain
Yeah, I know they're looking at a few quality of life things.
They have a bunch that they're doing because it's running on the newer client, so it'll have a lot of that stuff in it. That's just basic, voice chat will be in the game. Nobody uses the in-game voice chat, but just stuff that's built into the client now. So it'll be nice. What was I gonna do?
You're gonna talk about WoW a little bit.
No, I'm gonna talk about another MMO I started playing. So, thing, and I saw people were talking about Final Fantasy 14 because they had a new expansion come out called Shadowbringers. It's kind of crazy story of the game. Final Fantasy 14 came out in 2010, and it was just disastrous. The reception for that game was this game sucks. This is terrible. What the fuck? They made a terrible game basically because they had Final Fantasy 11, which was an MMO game, and that was on PC and on PS2. I think the servers are still running for that. Maybe.
Maybe, but it's on its last legs if it is.
Is FF11 still running? Yeah, it definitely is. Yep.
Only on PC though, right?
Yeah. I don't there's no reason why they would shut it down at this point because I'm sure the maintenance on that is worth whatever they're making. I mean, but that game is very much an old style MMO. I mean, that was pre World of Warcraft, I think. When did that come out? God.
No, this is post World of Warcraft though.
No, Final Fantasy 11 was 2002, so it was 2 years before World of Warcraft came out.
Okay.
But it was a pretty cool game. I think people liked. I think it's very different than MMOs now. Like the job and crafting systems are different, but I think there's a lot of love for that game. But
it was a bit over 3 years ago where it shut down on PS2 and 360. So it's only PC now.
Oh yeah, because they had on 360. I forgot. But yeah, it was pretty cool, crazy, because it was like the reason why, like the PS2 had like a networking add-on. It had that fucking like goddamn modem. You can do that with a hard drive with the network adapter, so that you could like have game content. Famitsu gave it a 38 out of 40, and GameSpy and GameSpot both gave it like an 8 out of 10. So it was pretty well received as a game. So they had a follow-up. They're like, all right, let's make Final Fantasy 14. Oh, I'm going to plug a YouTube channel right now.
While you're looking that up, just as a heads up, so Matt, if you ever do get into any of the Final Fantasy online games, the big thing about it is you won't. But still,
no, I won't.
You definitely won't.
I only play World of Warcraft.
The big thing is, if you ever wanted to start what feels like a new character, you don't actually have to start a new character. You could just change your job to change yourself to a different class, and you just start at that class level 1, and it's going to start just like from the beginning again.
Okay,
but do you keep your other class so you could switch back to it if you wanted to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I want to talk about it's Danny O'Dwyer. He is a YouTube person. I think he used to work at GameSpot, but he made a channel and he has a Patreon, and the channel's called No Clip. And he did a Final Fantasy 14 documentary that is about almost 2 hours long. So it's like a movie, and it's like kind of the whole evolution. It's super good. Like I could like paraphrase it, but it kind of goes through the history, interviewing a lot of like the developers and stuff. He went to Japan. So it's like super awesome, because the story of Final Fantasy is like harrowing, 14, because it came out and like people quit. People like lost their jobs, and like, you know what I mean? Like people, it was Japan, you know, like it's one of those things where if you work on something and it's like a failure, you'll quit. Like you're like, I can't be here anymore. I fucked up. Like I'm going to resign. Like, and so they got a new game designer who came on and revamped the whole game, and it's very good now. It's like a really good MMO. I think a lot of people like kind of swear by it. Having played it a bit, Matt, you can, if you want to try it, it is free to try up to level 35, so you can play a lot of it for free. As long as you don't create a PS4 version, because if you create a PS4 trial account, you can't have a trial account on the PC, which is kind of BS. So I just bought the game. But Final Fantasy XIV was revamped as Realm Reborn in 2013, 3 years after it originally came out. The combat was faster, it like had a focused story. And that's probably the strongest part about this game, is that like the storytelling is very much like, oh yeah, you're going off and doing like, oh, I'm going to go kill a bunch of, squirrels because they're infesting this like, ranch, and I'm doing like these things. But there's like an overall like story. Like each expansion has its own like Final Fantasy level.
Yeah, hey, it's like that fucking... that squirrel murdered my father.
Exactly, but you don't find out about it till later. No, but that's kind of the thing that people really like about it. The things I like about it is it looks really good. I think the worlds are very varied, and everything looks really like good. Like the art design, it's a fucking Final Fantasy game. Well done. The music is incredible. Like some really good Final Fantasy music in this game. And the combat's actually pretty fun. It used to be a lot different, and now it's much closer to WoW, where there's like, enemies will have like cones in front of them that they're gonna attack, and so you gotta like dodge, and there's AoE you gotta dodge, but like each class kind of has different mechanics. I guess it's like a little bit more like, it feels more like Monster Hunter a little bit with each of the different weapons. So like you have different play styles for each class, and like the red mage in that is like you're doing spells that use up your mana, and then you like switch to doing white mage spells that regenerate your mana. It's like each class has like different things that they do to like have like a DPS rotation.
And one of the things I like about it so much is the fact that it's a MMO you could play on a controller that feels complete.
It works. Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, I could do like half the stuff, but then like I really need to supplement with keyboard or something like that. No, you could play it with controller and feel like you're doing everything. Yeah,
it feels like a real like Final Fantasy game. So that's the thing I like about it. So the other thing I like about it is that hey, World of Warcraft, why are you charging $15 a month? This is only $13 a month. It's $12.99. But the game itself is only $20, and that comes with every expansion up to the newest one, I believe. Is how they do it. I think, unless it doesn't work that way. Does it work that way, TJ? Help me out.
I don't remember how that works because...
Oh, yeah, I have the Final Fantasy website up on my thing.
Yeah. Because if it is only $20, I'll probably go ahead and get it on my PS4 because I kind of want it there.
I was about to say, and the nice thing about it, I believe there's 100% crossplay.
Yes, it is.
So...
including if you bought both the PC and the PS4 versions, you can just play your same characters on both.
So I think
with one
Final
subscription.
I think it comes with I think the $20 comes with. Fucking Christ, man! Their website is just impossible. I'm about to get into the things I don't like about this game.
The website,
because Japanese game developers do not know how to make online games, and it still shows. I'm going to just click the goddamn buy now icon on the website. That's just one giant image because I want to see what you can buy. So you can buy the latest expansion. You can buy it for new players. Yeah, okay. The only options are to buy Final Fantasy 14 for new players, Starter Edition, which is $20. What does this include? Can somebody find out what this is?
Something tells me you only get the original base game.
But the only things on their store you can buy are Final Fantasy 14,
the expansion,
complete, and
starter.
No, okay, so you get everything because looking at this, Steam Starter Editions get Heavensward for free because they announced that because Shadowbringers came out.
What about Stormblood?
Well, okay, all yours is that did Starter Edition before May 31st, 2019 are able to. Oh yeah. What happens? Heavensward? Yeah. No. Okay. So because looking on Steam, the only things you can buy are Final Fantasy 14 Online Starter Edition and Shadowbringers, which leads me to believe that Starter Edition includes all the previous expansions now, which is the way World of Warcraft does it. When they put out a new expansion, it includes all the old expansions because they aren't going to make people buy fucking like 20 different games. That's why the complete edition, TJ, comes with Starter Edition and Shadowbringers for $60, which is 20 plus 40, which is the cost if you bought them separate. So, and it sounds like they have Stormblood was 50% off in March, but it sounds like that June 13th it says you'll be able to add the award-winning Heavensward expansion back to their account for free. I don't fucking know, dude. How does this work? Okay, again, let me get into the rant. TJ, why don't you figure this out while I'm ranting?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Thank you. So here's the problem I have with this game still. Like, I think that it looks great, it plays great, the combat is fun, everything's good about it. Okay, now, I wanted to play with a guild, or a free company, as they're called in this, on a server because is the Giant Bomb community, which is the online gaming like website. They do videos and stuff. Their community has a free company. I wanted to join their free company, and they're on the Primal Data Center. So the U.S. has 3 data centers, and each data center has like 6 to 10 servers on it, something like that. I don't know. So I went to the server. I'm like, okay, so they're on the Ultra server on the Primal Data Center. All right, so I go through the character creation, make my lady like I'm making a cool, super tall, like a lancer. I want like a warrior maiden, like a spear maiden kind of class thing I'm going for. Make this cool lady. I go to create a character and it says, oh, you can't create characters on this realm right now. It's too full. And now I think if you look right now, I don't think in any North American data center you can create a character now. Because the expansion just came out, and so they are being hit crazy with a lot of people playing. There are queues. When I was playing earlier, before we started the podcast, I had to wait 5 minutes to get in the game because there was a login queue. This is something that does not happen in World of Warcraft ever. Like, the login queues are basically non-existent because their server architecture now is to a point where they can, like, up and downgrade the amount of connections.
They could like just basically spin up new servers when they need them.
Exactly, like the way they built their technology, which a lot of people complain about. That's why it's such a different game, because they have each zone, basically each like zone in a map is its own server now, basically. So people have like kind of like mixed feelings about it. It's like, yeah, you can get on every time, but you don't feel like you're part of a connected world, because each zone has its own like server you just hand off between, you go between zones. So it doesn't feel like a connected world as much anymore. You're not like seeing the same people across zones that, you'd see like you'd be like in Orgrimmar, and then you see like a guy while you're shopping, and then you're out in combat and you'll see him run by. Yeah. Like that's something that doesn't happen in WoW anymore.
Or like fucking Blackfires ganking low levels.
Yeah, exactly. Like it just doesn't happen like that anymore. So that's kind of the annoying part about it. But in Final Fantasy XIV, it's fucking a nightmare, actually, because I wanted to play with this guild. That's why I bought the game, because they were talking about, oh, hey, we're getting everyone together for the expansion. Let's play. I can't fucking create a character on that realm. Like, and a thing is that it's dynamic. So they said try and log in about 3 or 4 a.m. Like West Coast time, and it'll probably be open to create a character on it. It's like, this is so fucking dumb.
So it has nothing to do with the amount of characters on the server.
It's the amount of characters that are currently playing.
That's dumb.
Yes.
It should let you at least create a character and then just be like, you can't play right now.
Well, okay. The perfect system for this would be, okay, this is difficult. We don't have the technology to scale, so we got lots of problems. We got lots of new people playing. We got the starter editions, $20 now. Like, people want to play. You got the free trial people coming in. They should make it literally, okay, you get one character creation on any server regardless of the population. Everyone with a new account can pick their server for their first character, whatever they want. So that fixes a lot of people like saying, hey, my friends, join me on this server. And it's like, well, you're on the server that's now you can't create characters on. This is bullshit. Which is kind of the situation I'm in. I'm like, great, I paid for fucking this game, and I'm using up my game time, and I can't play with the people I wanted to play with. This is kind of bullshit. So you can do realm transfers, but they're $18. So I could transfer my character to another world. It's like, this is kind of bullshit. But I think that, honestly, the elegant solution to this be, like, you can create a character on any server you want with your first one. So, like, if you want to do that, you can create a character. Because kind of one of the special things about the game is that this is even completely different in World of Warcraft, is that you can be whatever class you want to be with any character, because they're called jobs in the job system. So you can switch jobs. So you could be a warrior and be like, fuck it, I'm going to be a mage now. You can switch jobs. Like, when you get to high enough levels, you're allowed to switch to other jobs. And so you can work up that tree. So you don't have to have multiple characters for every class. You can have one person who can do everything. Like, if you want. I mean, you can put that time in. I mean, people have multiple characters because it's fun to have the different races with the different, like, looks and everything, and the different storylines where they start and everything. But, like, yeah, the idea is that you kind of have a lot of freedom, but in creating a character, you have no freedom. You have to pick, like, the realm that is available. And there was a point where people were complaining on Reddit, I saw, and it wasn't this bad for me because I tried to create a character this morning, and I was able to create on, like, 5 or 6 different realms. So I was like, okay, this isn't that bad. But they were like on Saturday, people were like, I cannot create a character on any realm. They're all saying no. Like, what do you do at that point? I feel like I'd call customer service and be like, give me my fucking game time back. I'm trying to play and you're not letting me play. This is bullshit. Like, I guess, and then I'm like all in this fucking Reddit community for this game now. People are like, well, they're doing a service tomorrow, like updates, and people are thinking that they're going to be upping like server capacities and whatnot and fixing that. So maybe after tomorrow, when they're doing the service on the game, you'll be able to play.
All right, I got an answer.
Okay, but right now, my recommendation is it's a cool game. Wait until they fucking fix it, because right now, if you're looking to play with somebody, it's not easy. So go ahead, TJ.
Starter edition is base game only.
Really?
Yes, they had a promo going on last month where if you had the starter edition, you could download the first expansion for free, but not the second. I have a feeling that though you can't buy the digital expansions on the Square Enix store, you're able to buy it through the game itself.
I guess, but like you literally can't buy it. So okay, so what are they doing? Are they saying the way that it is now is you can play starter edition? But if you buy Shadowbringers for $40, it probably comes with all the other expansions before it.
I don't know, unless it says that specifically. Let me check that, but it just said in the description, and you're able to buy the other expansions as well. I'm like, really?
But like on Steam, you can't buy any other expansions. How do you buy? Okay.
Oh, okay.
How do I give you my money?
How do I play?
I got it. So I looked at the description for Shadowbringers, and it says, please note that the Shadowbringers expansion pack also includes Heaven's Sword and Stormblood.
Got it. Go. That's it. So once I finish the story in Realm Reborn, which is the original, I think it's like 1 through like 50 or something. It's like a large chunk. Yeah. Once I finish that story, because I'm playing this because I want to play the Final Fantasy story and maybe play with friends. Then I'll just buy the expansion. So they're doing it a different way than World of Warcraft. Because one of the great parts about World of Warcraft, like TJ did, was like, hey, I want to play World of Warcraft. I haven't played any of Legion because I didn't buy Legion. But now
I bought Legion.
My subscription comes... Oh, you did?
Well, that's why I had the boost to 100. Because I bought Legion.
Got it. But the idea is that if you hadn't bought Legion, you could play Legion now for free. As long as you just pay $15 to get your account back.
Yep.
And so that's the nice thing about World of Warcraft is that like all the previous expansions become free. And nobody gives a shit about that because
I bought Legion, I bought Panda, and I bought
It's actually kind of annoying that the starter edition doesn't come with the other expansions because
it's kind of BS.
What? Like I mean it's not that crazy. I mean like the expansion like Shadowbringers is only $40. So it's not like a full game, and it comes with all of the other expansions. So, and I think the nice thing about the way that the expansions work as well is that you can just start at that expansion if you own it. So they have like the character jump things, I believe. So that's kind of cool. Oh, okay. Sorry. Another thing that sucks about BFA. Another thing they ruined about World of Warcraft. Matt, what if I were to tell you that if you went into World of Warcraft now in retail, every zone you went into, all of the mobs were the same level as you?
I would not like that.
That's the way it is now. They're level scaling.
That's dumb. Like, what's the point of going anywhere then?
Well, the idea was, Matt, is that now, if you want to level,
you can level
in any zone you want to now. Because
but that's stupid. There should be places that are scarier to go into.
Nope.
Yeah.
There are. So the
there are places
expansions
that are scarier to go to.
Yeah.
But not the other way around.
Yeah. The expansions have higher level areas. So, like, the Burning Crusade stuff, I think the minimum level of the characters there are, like, I think the max there might be 80 or something. So, but the idea is that, like, no matter what zone I'm in the Battle for Azeroth, like, New Continents, everything is level 119, because that's what my character is right now. There's no, like, oh, that's a red mob, watch out for that one. oh, this is because like in WoW Classic, it's like, okay, there's Plane Striders out here in the Barrens, and some of them are 11, and some are fucking 14, and there's a big difference between those two.
You're in fucking Crystal Glades, and you wander. You're like, oh, what's this zone directly to the east of it? And you wander in there, and everything's skulls. And I'm level 40 now, and everything's or level 39, and everything's still skulls. So I don't know what the fuck's up with that place, but I'm trying to stay far away from it.
Are you talking the Plague Lands?
Yeah, the Western Plague Lands.
Yep.
And they put that right next to what's essentially a starting area. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man, I need to get Final Fantasy 14, the Shadowbringers. I'm going to buy it now. Because the race that I wanted to create is only available in Shadowbringers.
Yeah.
They have the Viera from Final Fantasy 12.
Oh, that's cool.
The tall rabbit ladies. That's what I wanted to create with this character. Is a Lancer who's a tall rabbit lady. So I guess I'll have to do that and make a new one. But anyway, I guess that's one way of doing it. I guess that's not that bad. You just pay $40, you get all the expansions. It's just weird though, because like you said, TJ, they had a period where if you logged in during a certain time period, you just got the first expansion for free.
So what's gonna suck is the fact that, let's say I do get this whole thing for the PS4, including the expansions. Yeah. If I then wanted to play my character on the PC, I'd have to buy the expansions on PC.
Yes. Yeah, so that's a really interesting thing about the way that the game works, and actually I think it's a really cool thing. So right now, if I wanted to play my characters on the PS4, I would just pay $20, and I can just go on the PS4 and play my characters and be like, oh, I'm done playing tonight. I'm going to go to the PC. I can pick up where I left off on the PC and post characters. But yeah, like you said, TJ, you have to buy the game for each console that you're playing on, which is, whatever.
Because I might wait for a GameStop sale on the complete edition.
Yeah, right.
So there's that. But on the other side of things, it's not the only thing that future TJ has spent money on recently.
Yeah, I got it. You got other things to worry about.
GameStop had a clearance of a very weeby game I kind of wanted to get for the PS4. I picked up the Persona Endless Night collection.
God, you and your Persona.
Yeah, well, it's a $100 collection of the dancing games based off of Persona 3, 4, and 5. So, yeah, they made a dancing version of Persona 3 and a dancing version of Persona 5 to match up with the Vita version of dancing Persona 4. Persona 4 Dancing All Night, which it's a rhythm game from the makers of Hatsune Miku. And the Persona 4 one has a full-on story, and then they're like, well, let's just go ahead and milk these franchises for all that we can and make them all freaking dancing games.
Yeah.
But that digital version of Persona 4 Dancing All Night for the PS4 is only available in the Endless Night collection. You cannot buy it separately on the PS4 store.
I see.
Which kind of BS for people who wanted to get the separate cases. But I bought the $100 game for $50. So
nice.
Boom.
I'm gonna have some fun. Yeah, so like my thought with Final Fantasy 14 buying it was like, okay, it's $20. I'm gonna play WoW Classic when it comes out, and I just don't want to get burned out on Warcraft. And I'm really feeling like an MMO kick right now. So
maybe I will just buy the $20 for PS4.
It does cost $12 a month, but I don't think it auto bills your credit card.
But it's a 30 days with the $20.
It does come with the free month though, so I'm like, this month that I just bought on the 12th or whatever or yesterday when I bought this, will run out just a little bit before WoW Classic starts. So like, I'm gonna get my things, but I don't know. I mean, I liked it when I played it on PS4. But I think the nice thing is that they did a cool thing, and it's something the copying World of Warcraft again is having that trial account where you can play a pretty significant chunk of the game. 35 is pretty decently through. It's more than halfway through the first game. So, I mean, that's pretty cool that you can play. But anyway, it does also seem like the class balance is pretty good. in the game. Like, it seems like it doesn't seem like there's certain classes that only get invited to stuff, you know, and I think, like, a lot of the DPS are viable because, like, they've done a pretty good job balancing, it sounds like, because I watched a guide on, like, picking characters, but, like, the highest DPS classes are just, like, DPS only, and then there's lower DPS classes, they're DPS, they don't do as much, but they have, like, a lot of raid utility, like, they can do, like the Red Mage in particular, which I was almost going to think about making, although you don't make a Red Mage. You make, like, a starter job, and then that's, like, a prestige job, you get at a higher level, but, like, you know, working to Red Mage, you know, would be a thing, because they don't do a ton of DPS, but they also do buffs, because they have white magic, and then they also can party, like, res during combat. So, like, they're a quick, like, oh shit, someone died, like, I can bring him back. So, like, and so that's like, oh, okay, they don't do as much DPS, but they're still really important to have in a party. So it's really, it seems like it's like, you know, so, you know, you kind of can play whatever you want. Whereas in, like, that's one of the problems with Classic, it's like, know your role, motherfucker. Like, if you want to be playing this, you got to play it a certain way. Or else no one's going to want to play with you. Which is maybe something they can fix if they want to go the Classic Plus route, and try and, like, fix it. I mean, I feel like it would be as simple as making alternate specs viable by just changing some of the, like for instance, allowing paladins and druids to tank actually would be a way to fix it. But anyway.
It's just a matter of adjusting a couple of numbers on the server. It's fine.
It's honestly really as simple as the paladin and druid just need a threat aggro grabbing ability, because the only class that has an aggro grabbing ability is the warrior with the, like, was it one of the shouts that redirects aggro to you? Yeah,
it's like taunting shout or something.
Yeah,
like
something like that. So none of the other classes have that. So, like, if you're doing, like, a druid tank, and if somebody accidentally pulls aggro, they're fucked. Whereas, like, if you have a warrior tank, somebody accidentally pulls aggro, oh, you can pop your cooldown and hit that.
The druid bear form has, like, a roar, but
that doesn't auto pull.
Yeah,
that just generates a large amount of threat. Yeah, so that's the problem. They just need to give those classes the instant, you know, with a cooldown threat generator or threat redirection mechanic.
And this could be like a whole different, like, forking timeline of World of Warcraft.
Honestly, that's a possibility. And the way that they've been talking about it at Blizzard is, like, it sounds like they're kind of open to anything.
Yeah.
So maybe this will be, hey, what if we have 2 versions of World of Warcraft playing now? Anyway.
And then have a crossover comic between the 2 worlds.
Yeah.
Of the multiverse of Warcraft.
Yeah. All right, guys.
We want to do some Am I the Asshole or
yeah, I
Reddit
think so.
Chips?
We kind of have to, because I tanted some.
Okay.
I feel like.
Here's our new thing.
Fuck you,
all right.
Fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
Okay. So I have a real life one. I'm not going to rant about this on my podcast. I don't want to open up real life drama.
Okay. Just give their, like, real name and phone number. And
look, all I'm saying is that if you invite some people out to a cabin for a weekend to celebrate their birthday, and we don't get there earlier than anyone else, I'm not sleeping on a fucking air mattress on the floor.
So this is like all of the beds were spoken for ahead of time?
Yes. Which is insane, because we already paid for this, and we were under the impression that we had enough bedrooms for all of the people that were going to go, and it was also to celebrate one of our birthdays. So you feel like the people who are going would get the rooms because it's their birthday, but they didn't. And so at 11 o'clock, you're just like, well, I'm just going to drive home, and I'm not going to stay overnight because I'm not going to sleep on the floor because I'm not fucking 20. Like, let me just hook my CPAP up to the fucking outlet on the floor Like,
let me
really
just sleep on the floor and then be sore for 3 weeks.
Oh, other people with us. Oh, you guys have a bedroom to relax on before we head out to dinner. We're just kind of hanging out in the living room. Oh, you have a shower in your room. We've got nothing. This is great. Like, I was just like, let's. I mean, like, I'm not going to ask for my money back or anything, but this is kind of like I feel like if you're planning this, get a bigger house or tell the person whose birthday is, who we didn't know was coming, that took the last bedroom, hey, you can't stay in there the second night because we couldn't make it the first night, but the second night we would have stayed. And if you're the person who planned this and get really mad that my wife and I decided to leave at 11 because we don't want to sleep on an air mattress we didn't have sheets for because we didn't know we were going to need to bring them.
It didn't even have its own sheets?
No.
That's awesome.
No sheets or pillows. So it would have been like, oh, let's grab some pillows off the couches, I guess. Like, nah. I'm sorry. I just don't want to bring this too much, but I'm not giving any names here. I'm just saying. It's like, come on. You can't, I'm like, am I the asshole? No.
I don't think you're the asshole for leaving.
No, I paid you. I'm not asking for my money back. Whatever. Like, I didn't get to sleep there. You know, I barely got to use the place because we were out, on the town during most of the day. But it's just dumb. Like, come on. Like, plan this better, or rent a bigger place, or don't invite as many people, or tell the people that you invited extra that they're not going to have a bedroom ahead of time. And don't get mad when we decide not to sleep on the floor, because I don't want to sleep on the floor. Okay. Here's the real am I the asshole that we can get into some details on. Am I the asshole for going to a pre-planned vacation with my family rather than my boyfriend's mother's funeral?
Okay, and I believe I said yes, but you told me there would be more to this story.
There's more to this.
That complicates it.
Okay, I've got lots of. I don't think that there is actually. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. I was like you at first, and then I thought about it for a while. Here we go. I'm a teacher, so I get 2 months off every summer. But my mom, sister, aunt, and cousin all work regular 9-to-5 jobs with only 2 to 3 weeks off a year. So it's really difficult for us to organize times for trips so we can all go. So we managed to schedule a girls' trip to Cabo from June 1st to the 9th. Everybody made payments, about $3,000 a person, several weeks prior to the trip, because it's like an all-inclusive with flights and everything. Go to Mexico and bond. I'm best friends with my sister and cousin, and my mom and aunt are identical twins, so we're all a very close group. And we have a very much, like, it sounds like very much this is their annual let's have a week together every year trip. My boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years. His family lives across the country, and I only see them twice a year, and it's usually very quick. No real one-on-one bonding with anyone in the family, but we're definitely friendly. We like each other's posts on Facebook, Instagram, send birthday wishes, stuff like that. A few days before we left, my boyfriend's mom passed away unexpectedly. I spent a few days attached to his hip, supporting him, wrote the email to his work, explaining what happened, cleaning the apartment, making sure he ate, called his dad, siblings, expressed my condolences, booked his flight, helped him to pack, and then he asked me to go to the funeral with him. I felt so bad telling him no. I hardly knew his mom, and I feel like I had already committed myself to the trip with my family. He was heartbroken and begged me to go with him for support, but I told him that his whole family is there, and if anything, it's a special time for them to all recount their memories of their mother/wife/sister/daughter. He asked if he gave me $1,500, could you go on the trip sometime later? You have 2 more months off. I know you won't get some of your deposits back, so I'll give you some of the money. I honestly felt so bad, but the thing isn't the money. Although obviously as a teacher, I'm not swimming in money. But it's about how this is the one time a year that the women I'm closest with can all get together. My mom and aunt told me, we want you to come with us, but it's ultimately up to you. Or my cousin and sister were like, you should definitely come with us. It'll ruin the trip if you're not here with us. My boyfriend was upset and left mad at me. I called, texted a bunch, but he didn't respond until days later. Anyways, I went to Mexico and came back on the 9th, and things have been super weird with us. Sometimes he's really close with me like usual. Other times I can tell he's mad that I didn't go with him. Said he's not furious at me, but just disappointed and sad I chose to go to the party instead of being there for him. Says he would have dropped anything for me. Keeps emphasizing I have 2 months of vacation, but doesn't get that no one else in the group has that kind of vacation time and can't really reschedule. TLDR, I feel really bad because I didn't go with my boyfriend to his mom's funeral. I already had a trip planned with my family. Did I fuck up? What's up?
2 years? 2 years.
This is tough. It's like at the exact tipping point of this. Here's my response to that I post on Twitter. Dude didn't put on a ring on it yet and expected to drop $3,000 to go with him somewhere. I mean, come on now. You've been together for 2 years.
I feel like if I was the guy,
she has met this person 4 times, 2 times a year for 2 years. I mean, to me, I feel like I wouldn't ask, at this point I would ask my wife to go, you know what I mean? Because we've been together for so long and she knows my family very well. But if we'd been 2 years in, I would be like, it would be awkward for you there because nobody else really knows you, but maybe, my dad, has met you like a couple times. I would be like, I'd probably want, and the other thing I thought about this is, what if at a week after this trip, her mom died? Like, great. I missed an entire week we could have had together because I had to go babysit you. I mean, she talks about fucking sending an email into him for work and helping him eat. Like, come on now. She's doing a lot of work here. You know what I mean? She's putting in where she can. But, like, I don't know. Like, to me, going with someone, like a funeral, the person's gone. Like, here's the thing. I die. If you guys don't come to my funeral, I'm fine. Whatever. I'm fucking dead. I don't give a shit. I think that I don't know. I think that people. What is she going there for? What is she going to do? He's dead. She's already supported him a lot.
She's just going to like hold his hand more.
It's just tough. It just sucks because I can definitely see this as not being a cool thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I think this is like.
I could also see, like, given this specific situation, if I was the guy, I would be like, no, go, like, spend time with your family. Like, this has reminded me that we only get so much time with our family.
I wish we would have had a weekly trip, with my family every year that we could spend all this time together, because, or spent more time together. Because, like, I don't know. That was my thought. That's what turned me around on it. Because initially, like, wow, yeah, that's a jerk thing to do. But also, like, I mean, the money thing, you gotta throw that out. Like, that can't be in it. Like, whatever. Money you spent, whatever. I just think that he was asking for too much for a 2-year relationship.
But regardless, like, now that it's happened and he's still pouting about it, he's the asshole. Like, it has to be resolved. Otherwise, it's just going to keep festering and, like...
Yeah, I think she should just apologize, but I think she would need to come and say, like, okay, I really am sad I couldn't go, but, like, these trips mean a lot to us, and, like, I'm, what if, God forbid, one of my family members would pass away? I'd be happy that I was able to go.
Another way she could make it up to him is if she killed her own mom.
Fair
to, like, make everything even,
Yeah.
And you don't have to come to this one. You can go on a vacation.
Yeah.
So this was almost a no assholes here until the way the boyfriend was acting after the fact.
Yeah.
Well, I think the guy is only after the fact an asshole because he's kind of swinging around between multiple emotions here, and it's like, dude, you need to like.
Yeah. Well, like once it's already happened, you have to like find a way to forgive and be okay with it and move on.
This is not unforgivable. Like to me. Like, okay, death of a parent is probably the most difficult thing, death of a sibling, death of a parent. Those are like the 2 most difficult things to go through. But ultimately, I don't think that you need, like, unless you're married. Like, that's the thing, is like, that's the whole point of marriage, is to that's why you say to have and to hold through good sickness and health, all that stuff is like, hey, this guy didn't do that yet. I mean, 2 years isn't crazy because what did they say what age they are in this one? No, they don't say what age. But like, it's just kind of like it sucks. It's just a terrible situation. Like think about it this way. Like what would have happened if she would have died while she was on the trip? Would he have called her and told her to fly back? Probably not.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of a weird situation. It's like.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't across the country, because this like spending a bunch of money to go somewhere else, you know what I mean? It's just like, this is, man, it just sucks. I'm sorry, we're about a downer. TJ said you didn't want to end with a downer.
Well, we opened and closed with death, so it's a perfect symmetry,
It's a bookend. It's the life. We open and close with death.
I don't think life starts with death.
No, you have to kill someone to come alive. That's how it
you
works.
You have to stab. You have to claw your way out.
I
want
to figure out the reincarnation thing, and I wonder if there's a way to look up death records and birth records, and find out who died the moment who was call time of death blank blank blank.
No, that depends on. Okay. I don't want to get into a pro-life pro-choice debate here.
Oh shit!
But is it when you're born or when you're conceived?
I think you're right. Honestly, I don't want to get into a pro-life debate either here, but I feel like it comes down to not conception, but at what point is your brain alive? No, it's birth. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's say you're in there, but your soul isn't in there. We're talking about fucking reincarnation.
Eat shit, so Catholics.
Medical rules don't have to apply at this point. What I'm saying is, so the fucking crazy man in white upstairs with the big beard, when somebody dies, the moment you pop out, he's like, shove that soul in that thing, first breath, cry. That's the new soul being shoved in.
Yeah, it's just oh, thank God, I'm finally in heaven. Oh no, why am I back here? It's awful.
That's fucking right.
That's why babies cry.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought of it that way, man. You're so thoughtful.
I'm kind of into philosophy and theology.
Well, have you ever seen the James Brooks? No,
Mel Brooks.
Who's it? No.
Max Brooks.
Yeah.
Billy Brooks.
Yeah, Billy Brooks. No, the movie. Fucking A. I hate my life. I'm trying to search for it and it takes forever. Albert Brooks movie, Defending Your Life. I think I talked about this on a previous.
I don't think I've seen it. No,
because I was way into it. No, and it's another sad pour one out for the great Rip Torn who passed away. He sounded like he was just an incredible actor. He had a lot of problems later in life. I think he had some substance abuse problems with alcohol, but. He was, a legendary 70s actor, but he was in the movie Defending Your Life. He plays the lawyer. So the premise, just to get through it real quick, watch Defending Your Life. It's a great Albert Brooks comedy starring Albert Brooks and Meryl Streep. It's like a romance movie, but it has to do with a romance in the purgatory that is prior to the next thing. And the whole point is, you have to, have a legal case as to why you deserve to move on to the next plane of being, basically. Or you get sent back to the new body to learn those lessons again and make better choices next time. And so you have to you have this lawyer, and then Rip Torn basically plays his defendant lawyer who's trying to make the case for why he deserves, he's become more than human with his things, and he falls in love with Meryl Streep, who's a person who fucking walked into a burning house to save her children, all this stuff, and she just died she slipped in a pool and broke her head or something, how she died just randomly, where he died because he was distracted driving. So it's he's fucked up basically and is trying to sneak in under the line into heaven, and she's obviously way too good for him, but they have a romance. But it's really good. It's a really good movie, and it'll make you cry. It's great. And Rip Torn's incredible in it. So definitely watch that movie. But that's how reincarnation works, I think. You get sent back in. That's what you said, literally. It's you got to try again.
Do it over.
You didn't do good enough. Do it over. And then you get sent into fucking. Never mind. I don't want to get dark. So let's not talk. Let's just leave it at that. Let's just say maybe you don't get the same privileges. Maybe let's just say somebody who thinks that they got all the fucking shit in the world handed to them and thinks they did a great job, but they didn't because they're a bigoted, racist asshole. And then tells people to go back to the countries that they lived in. Or were from, America, the countries that they're from, America.
That shithole.
Anyway, any person like that, thinks they did a great job, they get sent back, and have to maybe live as one of the people, from one of those, I don't know, quote unquote shithole countries, and can see how.
Except it would be great if, as a special punishment, they remembered, their previous life.
Yeah, I think it's called karma. I think is the thing.
Yeah.
So,
that stuff from Reddit.
Yeah. Let me just tant a quick one. this is a good one. This will be a fun one for future. So next week, I had to test my significant other, girlfriend's best friends, and I fear it might affect our relationship, and it's pretty juicy.
All right.
And you can suspect how terrible these people are, and they are terrible.
Next time on Born in the 80s.
What if your significant other has terrible friends? That happens a lot, I'm sure. And then maybe TJ will have an Am I the Asshole. I kind of stole your lunch today, TJ.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. And TJ will have another story about somebody dying.
Yeah, TJ's going to try and resuscitate another person.
Just like seek out, like be an ambulance chaser.
TJ, some people do that for a living. Like the EMT people experience that probably every day. Or,
I bet.
You know, some level of it every day. So I fucking hats off to those fucking people, the EMTs that do that. I for a while thought I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Be an EMT.
And then you're like, I don't want to run that much.
Yeah. Well, you get the ambulance most of the way. It's a short jog usually.
All right. So just to end on a high note, and we'll leave this as a
smoke weed
hypothetical
every
question.
day. Sorry.
Heyo.
You're in Illinois, baby.
Oh, yeah. I got to go visit TJ.
Yeah, TJ.
What the fuck is happening on September 20th? Where fucking raid on Area 51 that just some idiots are going to go do or something?
Yeah.
Because everyone's making a joke on it on Reddit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it started as a Facebook event, and a bunch of people signed
Area
up.
51? We're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going.
No, because if anybody actually does try to run into the facility, they're going to get shot.
The Naruto runners in front will act as the shield. The human shields. We, in the back, will be riding in on our Tonka truck, little tyke vehicles. I'm trying to think of how ridiculous this meme is. I love this. I love this meme.
We gotta send the Karens on the flank just for distraction.
Yes,
we got this,
dude. Get those Karens in there.
Get the chats
saying,
up front.
"Hey, Mister Area 51 guard, I need to speak to your manager." You know, you get them in there. It's going to get them distracted.
Yeah, I hope it does happen just to see.
I don't think it, I think what will happen is there'll be a bunch of people will show up outside and be like, "Oh, sorry, we're not allowed in." But I do love the
I think the
memes.
vast majority of the people signing up are just not going to show up. So
there's a bunch of Persona 5 memes talking about people going in and then coming out with their personas.
Yeah.
I just want to fuck a Bigfoot, you know?
I'm sure you can commission that on some shady sites.
Anyway.
All right.
Huge fan of Area 51 memes. I'm just like now perusing Area 51 memes. I like the Chuck Norris and Keanu Reeves Area 51 Snapchats of like, yeah, I'm in. I'll see you there. Oh my god. Yeah.
All right. Well, you can find John on Twitter, John_Danger, when he's not looking at Area 51 memes.
Or on the website, bornintheeighties.net.
Sorry, I just sneezed.
You can find me at matthagmusic.com and YouTube/matthagmusic. What about you,
and
TJ?
Then also find me on Twitter. That's at @mayofmay84. And like I bugged everyone before, join us on our Discord. That's YOLO420.com/bornintheeighties. Just spell that whole thing out. Come talk with us. I added a new channel today.
Yeah.
And if I ever start twitching again, and not because of the seizures, that's twitch.tv/mayofmay.
Here's a cat.
That is a cat.
All right. Our chat has exploded with stories about fucking Sasquatch.
It has, and
guys,
I'm all for it. Let's move into the Discord.
September 20th, Area 51. Be there. Let's find those aliens.
And then the day after that, we'll play Earth, Wind, and Fire September.
Goodbye,
it's
everyone.
the 21st day of September. That's why they
exactly.
did it. The timing that way. Got it.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. It was a nightmare.
Like,
Yeah.
car rides for me are terrible because by the time my car gets to a decent temperature, it's like I'm there.
Oh, really? You need to get that Freon redone.
I think I did that, and it was still just. I think it's just the low power engine.
I think you just need a better car.
Yeah, I do. This car is not going to last for very much longer.
Okay, so we're on 361. Let me remove stuff that I don't have. We did a Reddit ship. I got 2 ready to go. Still have like a red pill thing we never talked about.
I need to rearrange my sound cues so that the ones that are like the Reddit ship one is right at the top because we use that like every time.
Heyo. Well,
I need something.
You didn't really put a link in. You just wrote a word, a sentence.
No, I don't put links in.
You should use LinkedIn.
Yeah, I
Heyo.
should. I do, but I only have 15 connections, which they say you need to have 30 in order to make connections or something.
What?
I don't know. They keep telling me to try and have more connections on LinkedIn.
Hey, network more. Yeah, I don't know. I never understood LinkedIn at all.
No, the death story is about me, so of course I won't have a link on here.
Did you die?
Hey.
No.
That's good.
Wait, I'm connected with you.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
you
that
are.
you didn't die, TJ.
Claudia, I'm very glad that you're not dead.
No, it wasn't me.
You didn't murder either, did you? Because that could get into a complicated legal situation for our podcast.
Yeah, if you did murder someone, don't say it on the podcast. Although, with our viewership, you'd be pretty safe.
Yeah.
True.
There's only going to be like 60 or 70 people that hear this, so it's cool. Less than 100.
And most of them are like Google bots.
Yeah, most of them probably robots. I'd say you probably got a good chance of 12 to 13
We're just
people.
future-proofing our podcast then. Because we're just
we're making it perfect for robots.
Yeah. This is what the robots will use to figure out what humans are.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think I'm ready to go.
I'm just preparing a real quick sound cue for Am I the Asshole?
So the Am I the Asshole? I have a real life one.
Oh, good.
So.
I should get it.
Oh, snap.
Am I the asshole? Up.
See, the only thing that, like, I use now for, like, work is, like... now it's, like, just all of the people that I work with posting stuff and me just liking it, so I'm, like, drinking the company Kool-Aid. That's about it, really.
I like Kool-Aid.
Because I'm, like, connected to, like, people that are higher up than me, so...
Oh, gotcha.
I want to look all fancy. I want to look all, like, gung-ho.
Still waiting on that heifer, Julio. Fuck
Hey,
you, fuck
sweet.
you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
Anyway, but I also got, like, a professional... I got a professional headshot. We got him at work. Because somebody knew was married to a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, let's have all the people take headshots.
Fuck you.
So I'm wearing a suit in my picture.
Nice.
Yeah,
you
it's
have
actually
your
really good.
fist up to your chin.
Yeah, I'm like...
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
I'm sensing a theme on this. Cue. Alright,
I'm just trying to trim it out.
all I want to definitely hit today is not rant more about World of Warcraft.
Fuck you, fuck you.
Matt can talk about it if he's been playing.
Fuck you, I'm out.
I'm assuming he hasn't. And it just says that under his name because that's what it said last week.
No, that's all I play.
Oh, that's fine. We'll keep talking about it.
I also watched The Shining and Stranger Things, which I haven't put into the thing yet.
TJ's probably already typing it for you, or am I typing?
What? I don't know. I'm getting a link on Twitter that I'm gonna post everywhere else.
God damn it, John!
What else did you watch? I'm not gonna fuck with it. You do your own thing, man. I just was thinking you were messing around with something else, and I wanted to help you.
No, I got that all figured out.
Sorry for trying to be helpful.
Good. You should never try. Oh, by the way, we're also streaming already.
Oh, perfect. Let me get levels.
Twitch.tv.
I need to get a glass of water.
Yeah, I actually just completely chugged my second Pepsi Zero sugar.
My window unit in my living room is like not even keeping up with the heat.
It is. Oh, wait. Is that your window unit straight behind you?
No, it's over there.
Oh, okay. Is it like old or what?
No, that one's pretty new, but I think it's lower power.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you know what though? You're in an older building though, so I'm assuming the insulation isn't great.
Yeah.
So you're probably losing a lot of cool out the cracks and stuff.
Let me turn it off of power saver mode because that might be the problem. I think it's like sensing the temperature isn't changing enough, and it's just like, fuck it, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Because it's trying to conserve power.
Yeah. I had a really terrible time outside mowing the lawn. Not that like it was any worse than usual other than it being super hot, but I fucking like wanted to adjust one of my like flood lamps in the back, the motion sensing one. And I tried to adjust it, and the fucking like light fixture part just snapped off the plastic.
Last night I had my bedroom air
light.
conditioner on and a fan pointed directly at me, and it was fantastic.
My central air has been running pretty much nonstop, so. But I broke a light outside, so I'm really happy about that. My motion sensing light, so. I'm going to figure out how to install a light fixture, I guess, at some point, but I can't because have rehearsals basically every night this week, next week, and the week after.
Yeah.
And
it's not too complicated.
No, I just have to basically unscrew I turn the power off to it, and then unscrew all of the, like, things attaching it to the side of the house, and then you just, like, unhook the, like, light, right? You just clip the
probably.
Like, power cables.
Well, depending on how it's installed, you might have to clip something, or it might just be wire nuts that are holding it together, and that'll be way easier even.
Yeah, I'm actually just going to probably talk to my neighbor who lives behind me, who's an electrician, and be like, I'm going to buy this, and I don't need you to, like, do it, but I want your advice while I'm doing it, and I'm going to give you a free beer.
Or just, like, have them on call.
Is this how we're going to be doing this all night, girls?
Oh no! I mean, we share a backyard. So
that makes sense.
I'm just gonna be like, hey,
that's some real.
I want to install this. Shit. Like, I want to learn how to do it. I don't want you to have to do it
don't have
because I know there's one out front we need to fix as well.
Yeah.
So, and they're not that expensive. I mean, it's like the fixture itself is like $20. So, that's just the annoyance of having to fucking put it together because I've never done that.
Tell your sister Delayla that she's
I haven't
not
done any like electrical work. I got super glue on my hand here.
Considering you when she does
because I tried to super glue it. I'm just noticing I got some on my hand here.
Yeah.
That did not work. God, this is awful. I'm noticing I have super glue all over my hands now. I was wearing gloves, like rubber gloves.
How did you manage to do that?
Well, I broke a light fixture outside when I was trying to adjust it.
And then you tried to super glue it?
Well, it was plastic, and so I was like, all right, super glue plastic. And I tried, but it's either too humid or hot out, or it's just the connection is just too tenuous, and the fact that it's like hanging, gravity is pulling at it while I'm trying to set it.
Super glue usually works better if you have like a lot of surface area.
And you have to have like a really stable place for it to sit.
Yeah.
To set for like
if you're just trying to like connect to the edges of two pieces together, it's probably not going to be enough.
Yeah, especially for the like weight of the bulbs that you put in this thing. So I just need to buy a new light fixture and do it. It's fine. I need to learn how to do it. it's a terrible week for this to happen because it's going to be fucking 90 degrees out all week, and I'm also not going to be home like any evenings.
Yeah.
And it's also like a mosquito again outside, so.
Hey, before we start, I'm going to get a glass of water because I'm dying.
Yeah, I just finished my drink. I'm going to go also get a glass of water.
Okay, I will just sit here.
Contemplating. You're on the audio, so people will hear this after the podcast. So say whatever you want.
I don't have much to say right now. But, hello, everyone. Welcome to my part of the podcast. Who the heck's making brownies? Ugh. Regardless, I appreciate you guys downloading our podcast, listening to it on your favorite podcast streaming app. More than anything, join our Discord. Come hang out there. I should make a rant channel on the Discord. That might be a good idea. Not just a politics rant, but maybe a regular rant. I'm going to do that right now. But that's YOLO420.com/born in the 80s, all lowercase. You can join our Discord, hang out with us, come talk to us. We're responsive. We're resilient. We got a good 12.5 people here. I want to see you there. Sure, the other two as well, but mostly me. See you on the Discord, and you can put any of your rants in our new Rants in My Pants channel. I'll put that right by Nothing But Memes. Hey, welcome back. I was talking to everybody and nobody at the same time here.
I was trying to figure out.
And I was inviting them to our Discord, and I made a new channel on our Discord.
Whew, alrighty.
What's the new channel?
Hey, boy.
I'll tell John too. Hey, John. I was talking to everybody and nobody, and I was trying to convince them to join our new join our Discord. But I made a new channel. It's called Rants in My Pants, and people can just put their rantings and ravings and anxiety and whatever they're upset about that isn't politics related.
Okay.
Rants in My Pants.
Gummies.
Jealous.
We went to Galena.
Many jealousies.
And so we went to the Galena Candy Kitchen. They have like a scoop whatever you want into a bag and pay by the pound. So I got a little shark gummy. They're good. They're
really nice.
I had some cherry rings. Those are good. A blue raspberry gummy.
Mm-hmm.
I found it.
And I got some blue raspberry saltwater taffy I'm gonna eat.
This is my universal VCR remote.
Oh, nice. Why do you have that?
Because I'm going to do some video stuff where I make it look like film and then record it onto some really worn out VHSs.
Oh, cool.
But because none of the $4 like VCRs at Goodwill come with remotes, I had to buy a $10 remote so that I can switch it to the right input.
Yeah, that's cool.
I also probably gonna have to pull this off better. I'm gonna have to get like a better capture card that can capture at a higher resolution. So I just have like a $10 one that maxes out at like 720p.
All right.
Oh, okay.
I also got the Lego candy, the candy Legos. They're fun.
That's the most evil thing.
Mm.
We're gonna
They're basically
convince
just
kids
runts.
to eat Legos. Are they actually a Lego brand?
No, they have square holes on the back.
Sorry, I punched the mic.
All right, I'm going to start.
Yeah.
I'm finishing my last piece of candy. This tastes like childhood.
That is quite like moist.
All right, I'm done.
Oh. This is the wrong kind of ASMR. I'm not for
what's
this.
the opposite of ASMR?
That's the thing. There's a disorder some people have where the sounds of eating drive them so crazy they can't be around it, and it makes them want to murder people.
Well, if that's the case, if they murdered someone, then it would be okay because they have a disorder.
Yeah.
It's medical. It's your fault. Where is... Damn it.
Sensitivity to eating noises is misophonia.
Oh. More like miso horny.
Nope.
Stop myself. Alright, I've got to get a fucking new pen because I don't know where my pen went. Because I have to write down what we talked about.
Yeah.
Or else it's lost forever and I have no clue what to write in the description. Because what the fuck did we actually talk about? Alright, I'm ready. This is 361.
Yes.
Okay. Matt, get the face cam on. Let's get the fuck out of here.
It's on. Hey, do you guys want to know all the codes for the different brands of VCRs?
Sure.
All right.
Let's do this. Let's go in hot in the episode here.
Admiral 10463.
Okay.
Affinity.
5-digit codes? No, we're done.
Yep.
We're done after
and
one.
some of them have 2. And there's I don't know if you can see this, but this is all the codes.
Oh, wow.
I can't see
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty much
Matt,
bleached out by
it's
the way.
like being completely white balanced out.
I know.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Ah!
All right.
Looks better on the stream than it did on my phone.
Yeah, I'm ready to
right.
start.
But I have
Yeah,
a
let's do this.
Mitsubishi VCR. So it's good to know it works with that.
Oh.
That was my story about what kind of VCR I have.
Welcome.
What did you guys bring to the podcast?